So, Jack Coan is now the starter. The captains have been announced. And what was the last thing I was going to talk about? Oh, AP poll has been dropped. So, we'll talk about all that on the video. And if you couldn't already tell by the title, that is what we're talking about. But we'll jump right into it. Jack Coan is now the starting quarterback. And the reason that it was announced now and not near the beginning is because Brian Kelly wanted to give an equal chance to not only Drew Pine, but Jack Coan. And then your third, from what I'm hearing, the third quarterback is Buchner. And then I don't necessarily know where that leaves Clark, because it was either Clark or Pine hasn't been redshirted, but I think it's Pine who's in his sophomore year and hasn't been redshirted. Because I know he's 1 year behind Brendan Clark. And then you've got the new QB who's coming. He's a freshman too. I forget his name's escaping me right now, but I'm thinking he's getting redshirted this year. And I figured he probably would. But this is kind of what I expected. It's what I expected to hear. Coan is a senior transfer from Wisconsin. He did some good stuff in Wisconsin. He did not play last year. He played in 2018 and 2019. He did not play last year, which is a partial downside. But from what I'm hearing, a lot of the reason he was picked was because of his accuracy and his consistency. Here's the problem. You're moving from Book to Coan, who is more of a pocket guy. And he doesn't really have the instinct. He doesn't really roll too much. Actually, he barely rolls out at all. And that's going to be a big difference to look at as not only a fan, but probably from the team's perspective too. And I loved Book's style of play. I've always been a big scrambler fan. Vic's a third of the reason I got into the NFL, just because of how he was able to improvise and all that. But I mean, now you're moving to Coan, who's more of a pocket guy. But honestly, I think the move's probably for the better. I think if you give Pine one more year, he could be a good enough quarterback for Notre Dame, especially with if Mayweather and Williams do come in, and then your freshmen develop a little bit more at receiver, like a Lorenzo Styles or an Xavier Watts develop a little bit more. You could have a good team that you don't necessarily need an Ian Book to pull you along. But jumping over to captains. Now, 7 captains were announced, which is more than usual. And I know some people are criticizing that. I'm fine with it. I really am. I really don't care, as long as they've earned captain. And I can say that all of these guys have probably earned captain. So your captains are Kyle Hamilton, who's definitely earned it. Drew White. Myron Tagovailoa-Amosa. Jarrett Patterson. Avery Davis. Kurt Heinisch. And Kyron Williams. And Hamilton, I expected. He's a great safety. He performed very well in his sophomore year. I guarantee you he has a lot of potential. He probably will leave early. I don't want him to leave early, but he probably will for the draft after this year. And honestly, wherever he goes, I'm hoping that he lands in Philly. But the chances of that happening are low because when it comes to Notre Dame guys, if they land here, I'm unlucky. Josh Adams and Victor whatever his name is, Victor Adamabari, something like that, back in the late 2000s. But and if they don't, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Chase Claypool, but Hamilton could be really good in the NFL, and I'm glad to see him get captain in potentially his last year here. Drew White, great linebacker. I always mix him and Bo Bauer up as rising from the ashes. I think it was Bo. It was one of the two. Whichever one I'm wrong on, my bad. But last year was such a cluster with linebacker that all I remember is Drew White's good. So is Bo. But he deserves captain. Myron Tagovailoa-Amosa, I'm not surprised. He's one of the starters coming in on the defensive line. I expected at least one defensive lineman to get that captain's badge. Jarrett Patterson, not a surprise there either. I think he's going into his last year of eligibility. Actually, no. He's got 1 year after this, and then he's done in terms of eligibility. He's in his 4th year redshirted. So, That doesn't surprise me either. He's a great piece. I think he's probably one of the best on the line right now, and he's one of the most experienced on the line. So I can see why they would give him that captain's badge too, patch, whatever. Avery Davis, another one I kind of expected. Another senior, or another guy who I think is on his last year of eligibility. He's a great piece. He's flashed some good things, but he needs to step into a bigger role and step up to be fully in a spot where he deserves the captain badge. But yeah, I'm fine with picking him out of all the guys at receiver to give one to. Although I would have loved to give one to Michael Mayer, the emerging sophomore, unredshirted guy who is great on the offense. Kurt Heinisch, he didn't surprise me mostly because he's going into his sixth year because of the free year of eligibility handed out by the NCAA. Him and Dewar are the most experienced. That doesn't surprise me at all. Not only that, he's good. He deserves it. He's shown a good level of play, especially with the line that was there last year, and I expect big things from him this year. And then Kyron Williams, the redshirt junior, the guy who emerged on the scene. Whew. He's good. He's good. He's very good. He emerged last year when no one expected him to, and he's deserving just because he's going to be a piece for the next 2 years alongside Chris Tyree and the freshmen coming in that are expected to do big things. So, honestly, I'm excited for that whole running back group. But cutting over to the AP poll, the preseason poll. I just got to pull it up quick because I didn't have it pulled up beforehand because, I'm that... I didn't necessarily know when I'd make this video, so I didn't have it pre-pulled up, but... Season... Top 25. Alright, here it is. So, number 1. No surprise, Alabama. Number 2, Oklahoma. Number 3 is Clemson. Number 4 is Ohio State. Number 5 is Georgia. Number 6, Texas A&M. Number 7, Iowa State. Number 8, Cincinnati. Number 9, Notre Dame. Number 10, North Carolina. Number 11, Oregon. Number 12, Wisconsin. Number 13, Florida. Number 14, Miami. Number 15, USC. Number 16, LSU. Number 17, Indiana. Number 18, Iowa. Number 19, Penn State. Number 20, Washington. Number 21, Texas. Number 22, Coastal Carolina. Number 23, Louisiana Lafayette. Number 24, Utah. Number 25, Arizona State. So going from the top down, Bama I expected at 1. Oklahoma I didn't necessarily see coming in at 2. I don't think they'll stay at 2, but I didn't expect them to be at 2. I thought it would be Clemson or Ohio State, who are 3 and 4, which I thought they'd be 2 and 3, but them being top 5 doesn't surprise me. Georgia, it was honestly going to be a coin flip between Georgia A&M and maybe another SEC school, but that doesn't surprise me either. 7, Iowa State right now, I think that's kind of high. But hey, whatever. They won't be there by mid-season, I think. Cincinnati, that's another team that could drop within the first couple weeks. I don't see them being 8. Notre Dame is 9. That's a good ranking. I'm fine with that. I'm glad to see our boys at 9. We play multiple ranked opponents, so this year is going to be the prove-it year, really, for this team, who just lost a decent amount of pieces. So this is our prove-it year. And one of our opponents happens to be number 10, UNC, or North Carolina. Sam Howell, that team in general, I'm not surprised they're up there in the top 10. 11 is Oregon, and 12 is Wisconsin. I kind of put those together because I didn't expect Oregon to be so high and Wisconsin to be so low. I thought Wisconsin would have been a little bit higher, and Oregon would have been a little bit lower, at least coming into a preseason poll. But, hey, AP poll has been wrong before. I've been wrong before on the AP poll preseason, so who knows. 13, Florida. Hey, don't throw shoes this time and then cost yourselves the game, please. Or cost yourselves a spot at 13. I shouldn't make that joke. Number 14, Florida. Not surprising. Or Miami. I think the U will drop a little bit. I don't think they're necessarily going to beat Clemson, or I'm not necessarily sure who they have on their schedule. I think they have another good opponent on their schedule. So, and I don't know. I think they will drop by the time they, or by the mid-season mark. 15 is USC. That I saw coming. USC is a good team coming off a shortened year. Not only that, they're coming into a good spot with their team. So I expect a little bit of big things from USC. I'm actually going to that Notre Dame USC game, so I'm hoping it's close, but I'm ultimately hoping Notre Dame comes out with a win again because I want that game to be good that I go to, and I want to come away satisfied with the game. But 16 LSU. All right, let's see if they can rebound 2 years after Joe Burrow, after a down year after Joe Burrow. Can they rebound? Probably not, and they just lost Jamar. Who knows? Will they ever get back to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and status? Which I don't think they will. Indiana. Why is Indiana 17th? Can somebody tell me why is Indiana 17? Are they really this good, or is the AP poll just ranking them this high? 18's Iowa. I kind of expected them there. They've got a good team. Penn State, I didn't expect to see after a down year from last year. I would have expected Michigan more, and I don't like Michigan. I don't like Michigan as a team, but I would have expected them on here over a Penn State or a Washington who is 20. Why is Washington on here? That's another head scratcher. 21 is Texas. Not surprising, it's Texas, especially coming into a preseason poll. Coastal, it's not surprising after the year they came off last year, but can they continue to be good? That is my question. Can they continue their streak? Louisiana Lafayette. Who expected them to even make this list? I definitely didn't. I don't think they're going to be nearly as good, but I could be wrong. Coastal popped up last year, and BYU popped up last year, so why can't Coastal do it this year? Utah and Arizona State, 24 and 25. Just saying. Arizona State, I can see the case for, but Utah, not as much. I don't know. Some of those really leave me scratching my head a little bit. I mean, I would have rather put OK State in this list than a Utah. Or, well, Michigan, at least Michigan received votes. Army received votes, dude. UCLA, so here's who received votes. OK State at 107, Ole Miss 106, TCU at 40, Liberty 36, Auburn 32, North Carolina State 14. Really? Michigan 12, Northwestern 8, Boise 7, Nevada 7, BYU 6, Ball State 6. Why Ball State? Houston 5, Boston College 5, UCF 5, West Virginia 3, UAB 2, Army 2, UCLA 2. Alright. I also wanted to note, Bama wasn't a unanimous first team voted. Oklahoma got 6 first team votes. Clemson got 6 first team votes. Georgia got 3. Ohio State got 1. So they were not unanimous by any means, but I just had to get on, talk a little bit of Notre Dame, and kind of look over the AP poll quick, but just got a COVID shot, so I expect to be down and out for a couple of days. You probably won't see videos if something breaks until the podcasts. You may, I don't know. But anyways, I will see you guys probably not till the weekend. You know who it is. I'll see you later in the week.